A teacher who puts $500 a month into a low-cost 403b would end up with $459,000 after 25 years. That same teacher contributing the same amount in a high-cost variable annuity 403b would end up with $309,000. That's a $148,000 difference. And most teachers don't know they're paying these fees. I'm Charles, managing partner of Forthright Capital, and over the last 13 years, I've helped hundreds of educators reach their retirement goals. Today, I'm going to show you where these fees hide, how they stack on top of each other, and how to find out what you're actually paying. Here's why the 403b is different. A 403b is a retirement account that school districts offer. Think of it like a 401k, but for teachers. The key difference, however, is that in a 401k, your employer typically negotiates with big investment firms like Vanguard and Fidelity to give the employee the best deal possible. In the 403b world, many school districts allow insurance companies to sell variable annuity products directly to teachers. Now, annuities aren't inherently bad. Some of them can provide guaranteed lifetime income and even downside protection against the market. But the problem isn't the product, it's the process. Most teachers didn't choose their plan after comparing options. Most of the time, someone walked into your classroom or they sat in your faculty lounge, maybe they served you a sandwich and they signed you up for 403b. You probably didn't understand what you were signing up for, you just knew that you wanted to save money for retirement. That's not an informed decision, that's a default that most teachers fall into. So what are teachers actually paying? Many teachers believe they're paying one fee, but most variable annuity come with 4 separate layers. Let me show you how to find each one. In a variable annuity 403b, the fees don't come as one line item. They typically stack on top of each other and may not be seen in your statement. Layer 1, the investment expense ratio. This is for the annual management cost of the funds inside your annuity. In some target date funds, we've seen some of these expenses be above 1%, and that's just for the funds before we add in anything else. Layer 2, mortality and expense charges, or commonly called M&E charges. This is the insurance company's cost for wrapping the investments inside an annuity contract. Typically between 1 to 1.25% every single year. However, this is deducted automatically and it typically doesn't show up on your statement as a line item. Layer 3, administrative fees. This is the cost that the insurance company can charge purely for maintaining and holding your assets. This is typically a flat dollar amount, or it can be a small percentage. It may be small, but this fee can compound over the decades. Layer 4, optional rider fees. Some products may include an optional benefit like a guaranteed income rider. Think of it as a way to protect a portion of your future income. But what's not often made clear is the fact that these riders typically cost 1% of your account value every single year, even if you're waiting to take income. Stack all 4 layers together, and a variable annuity 403b can cost you anywhere from 2.5% to 4% every year in fees. Now, to be clear, if a teacher understands all 4 layers of fees and they're educated on how the product works and they decide that the annuity is right for them, that's a great decision. But the issue is when someone has no idea what they have. That's not a choice, that's a blind spot. Now let me walk you through the numbers. 2 teachers, same contribution, same time frame. Only difference is the fee structure in the product. Both teachers contribute $500 a month for 25 years. Market returns 8% for both. Teacher A is in a low-cost, self-directed 403b through Fidelity or Aspire. Total all-in fees for this product are about 0.25%. After 25 years of contributions, this teacher has $457,000. Teacher B is in a variable annuity 403b with total annual fees of about 2.75%. After 25 years, Teacher B has $309,000. Same contribution, same market, but a different product with a different fee structure has yielded a $148,000 difference. $148,000 can be 3 years of retirement income. It can even be a down payment on a house, or even 4 years of college tuition for a child. Teacher B may have received genuine value from that annuity. But the question isn't whether they paid higher fees. The question is whether they understood what they were paying and if they believed that the value was worth the money. But here's the part that makes this harder to fix. And this is something that almost no teacher knows about until they try to make a change. Most people think surrender charges works like a countdown. You sign up, you wait 5 or 6 years. After that time period, you're free to move your money. If you try to move your money before the 6 years, then you have to pay a penalty. Simple enough. But some 403(b) products use something called rolling surrender charges. The penalty isn't attached to your original start date. It's attached to every single contribution that goes into the account. Every paycheck starts its own 6-year clock. January's contribution isn't penalty free until January 6 years later. Same for the month of February, 6 years later. Same for March, same for April's contribution. Every single month, every single contribution that goes in the account. So for as long as you're actively contributing, there is always recent money that is subject to a penalty if you try to move it somewhere else. Does that mean you're stuck? Not necessarily. Any money you've contributed past those 6 years will typically be penalty free. Some teachers may also move a portion of the account with no penalty at all. But the structure is designed to make leaving feel very hard and difficult and painful. The issue isn't that surrender charges exist, it's the fact that most teachers don't understand them until they try to make a change. Now let me show you what I use for my clients to help them understand their 403(b). I use something called the 403(b) fee check. It's 3 steps, about 15 minutes. Step number 1, find your total fees. Call the number on your statement and ask 3 questions. What is the total expense ratio of my investments? What are the mortality and expense charges of my contract? And finally, what are my administrative and optional rider fees? Add those numbers, that's your actual annual fee. Step 2, understand your surrender charges. Ask, are my surrender charges on a rolling basis or a per contract basis? If rolling, ask which of my contributions are past the surrender period and if the rolling surrender charges ever ends. Step 3, compare your alternatives. A low-cost, self-directed 403(b) runs about 0.25% in annual fees all in. That's your benchmark. Perhaps does your district offer a 457? Does your district have a low-cost vendor option that you may be aware of? If you'd like to work with an advisor, decide how much you'd like to pay for the advice. If your annuity is the right fit, that's a valid choice. The goal is not to get everyone out of variable annuity 403(b)s. It's to make sure that every teacher knows what they're paying for and has made a conscious decision. Teachers spend their entire careers making sure that other people's kids are prepared for the future. You buy supplies with your own money, you stay up late, you grade papers on the weekend, but you do it because you believe it matters. But somewhere along the way, nobody prepared you for one of the most important financial decisions of your life. Nobody explained to you what was inside your 403(b). Nobody walked you through the fees. Nobody gave you the right comparison. That's not your fault, but this is something that can be fixed. Do the fee check. Call the number on the back of the statement. Ask the 3 questions and write down that number. Because the difference between hoping for a good retirement and planning for a good one is knowing what you're paying for. If you want to learn more about your 403(b), then visit our website in the description below for more educational content. And I'd love to hear from you. Tell me in the comments how you signed up for your 403(b). Again, this is Charles with Forthright Capital, and I post educational content like this every single week to help teachers reach their retirement goals. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.